Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Carlton vs Melbourne thriller at the MCG that happened, might have even been on the bloody Saturday that this game actually occurred, I think it was. And now this is filmed on the Monday, so I might not remember everything that happened. But before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, NEWMAN top scored, which was a brilliant in by me. I mean, my two trade-ins got 241, I think, points between them. So NEWMAN was the top trade-in my opinion, for DAICOS. I mean, it looked pretty. I thought it might have been a red flag because it was so obvious. But I think, well, for most people that had Sicily, I think it was just a case of trying to find that next guy. And obviously, I think Sicily was still a good trade-in. For those that wanted to trade him in, I just think he didn't provide this week. Plus, also, he got ripped off with a free kick that he should have had a 50 for and a kick, which would have been a swing of +6. But I still think NEWMAN was the top, especially for the top 2 or 3K that had Sicily. I think NEWMAN was the one guy that you had to go to. Cripper 120, he did really well. He looks good. Next year with, I think someone on Twitter was basically saying this year was the year of getting all the value forwards. Next year it is, or picking up all the forwards and really gaining value through the rookies to get the quality mids. But this year it seems, next year it seems like Cripper, Took, Mills, Steele even, there's going to be 5 or 6 guys that are so underpriced that it's going to be pretty ridiculous if you don't grab them up. So I think it is going to be the year that we go very, very light in the forward line as we're trying to figure out if someone can get mid-forward status. I mean, it looks like Track will get... Track will be on the border, so it basically could be Track plus just a couple of mid prices, and then putting like Harley Reid and some other rookies in that F5, F6 spot, rather than if we look here with what I actually did to start the year. If we look back here, you'll see we went 1, 2, 3 big forwards, a medium pricer, and a rookie, whereas I think next year you're going to see 1, 2 big guys, a couple of mid prices, and 2 rookies. And you can see here we sort of we went with 4 premiums, 4 big premiums here, and 3 rookies as well as a mid pricer. Whereas I think you will be going potentially 5 premiums to start in the midfield, and then looking for some value in the forward line as well. But back to this game. Hewitt 111, he was huge. He's going to be interesting next year to see what his what he sits at. I mean, if there's no sub next year, he could be huge. What's he averaging? I believe he's averaging 71, I want to say. What's he averaging? 71.8 through 17, which is really good because that'll be priced at around about, I'm going to say, 630 or so. Let me just quickly do the maths. We got him 635k, so... yeah, I think if he, say, gets 2 100s in the last game, that will get him up to, let's just see quickly, that'll get him up to 17 times 71.8, plus 200 divided by 19, priced at 74.7, and then if we convert that using the magic number, 660 next year could be a very, very good valuable pick, like we thought with Sheed, but you'd hope, obviously, Hewitt can get a couple of lowish scores, say he gets a couple of 60s or whatever, to round out the year or something, or even potentially, I know it doesn't sound good, but potentially even get an injury and get like a 10 or something like that to really lower that average down, because him in the 500Ks would be a pretty good pickup, I think, as he's shown that he can score those 80s or 90s, and that would be really quick cash gen if he was going plus 25, plus 30 on his average. Sard was really good, 104. Akers, 95. Doherty got pulled with a calf complaint and is pretty much straight out of my side because of that, I think, as looks to me that he might be out the next week. And that gives me the ability to go up to Clayton Oliver. But then again, if he isn't out, then I might try and do some switcheroos and see if I can get like maybe even get a George Hewitt in or something like that. And... and try and get an Oliver or something like that, as Crouch and Steele both had shockers for me. I don't know, honestly, where to go with my team. It was a shocking round. I mean, Crouch had a shocker. Livers obviously out concussed, so he's gone. And Cornelio and Dunkley had shockers as well. So, yeah, there's that. But I'm looking at Hewitt, I'm looking at some other people, but we'll wait and see. It'll be later in the week that I make the decision, but there's certainly options there to go to. Kemp, Wiedering, Martin, De Koning, Fisher, no one else here really to worry about. I mean, Holland scoring a 40 isn't that good, but it doesn't really matter obviously at this point because he's a rookie, but just looking in case we wanted to, in case he does lower a little bit to become a mid-pricer in his second year, but then again, he's a winger, so I wouldn't be going for that anyway. Melbourne, you have Viney, 142. He was, I don't know when I said to pick up Viney. If we look here, Viney, I'm going to say it was, I want to say it was around about here that I said to pick him up. He's gone 148, 93, 108, 91, 133, 83, 142. He's gone absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, just a really good pickup for those people. He's gone 119 last 3, 111 last 5. He's been one of the picks since basically the bye. And yeah, I pretty much saw that coming. Oliver came straight back in, laid 13 tackles to get a 126, and I'm looking at potentially bringing him in this week, as even though he's playing Hawthorn, it should be fine. I mean, if we just look, I think I've already done the Oliver, bring in Oliver. If we look at Oliver against Hawthorn, he went 126 against them, even with the potential of a McGuinness tag. I think it'll be fine. Hunter 99, Track 96, just struggled to get into the game early in the first. If he'd had a 15-20 point first, that's a 105, 110, and that's a fine score, but just didn't get involved and really struggled to, I guess he had a massive second to get up to 46 at half, and then a 50 point second half, but just didn't get that 110, 120 that he could have against Carlton. But I mean, it is a slider. It is a tougher game against the probably informed team of the comp. Salem 88, Langdon, Gawn 84. Knew that he was going to be impacted by Grundy, even though Grundy had a shocker of a game, a 36, which is further inducing a potential Grundy next year if he's priced at, what's he going to be priced at, like 75 or something. Let's look at Grundy. Let's look at him here. He is priced currently directly on 75, and say he goes, say he plays 2 more games and gets 40. Let's just quickly do this. 40 in each game, which he could easily do. Divide that by 19. He'd be priced at 71, which would be priced at 630k. And if he's the lead ruckman at Port Adelaide or something like that, he'll average like 100 or something like that, and that's plus 30 on him at least. And yeah, I think that would just be a massive option if you could do that, as saving 200k from like a Rowan Marshall or something like that on a Grundy, or even if Grundy might have enough to get, it depends, but I don't know if he'll have enough to get forward status. That would be definitely a ruckman to get if you could get him if he has forward status, but I don't think he will have forward status. Jordan, Chandler, Smith, Melksham, Hibbard. That is basically the game review there. Just going through mostly talking about how there are some guys that are options from these, but I mean, Hewitt maybe if you wanted that 23rd premium. Oliver is back and fine. Viney's doing really well. And I guess NEWMAN is the defender that you need to get if it's Doherty that's out, or if you were trying to still find the DAICOS replacement, as he looks to be going 130 for the rest of the year. And just looking into next year with the potential of Grundy and potentially Hewitt, if they get rid of the sub, I think Hewitt is the one to get in, as he's been subbed out so many times, and if he's not subbed out, or he is the sub I should say, he will be that on the bench extra midfielder. So I think he'd be really good to grab, as I think he'd score really, really highly. When he actually plays, he scores really highly. So that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Goodbye.